Hey, it's Keith Townsend from the CTO Advisor, and we are again having a great set of sponsored conversations with HPE, who has a huge storage portfolio ranging from direct attached storage to cloud storage to Synergy to HCI. It's really hard to get your arms around that whole portfolio and understand where you are in a customer journey and how you should adopt each platform. At VMworld 2019, which we're on site, HPE announced a relationship with VMware with vCloud Foundation and powered by Synergy. We have with us Sandeep Singh, VP of Storage Marketing at HPE. Sandeep, nice to talk to you again.
Keith, pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me.
So, Sandeep, we were on a panel at HPE Discover just a few months ago, and IDC shared an amazing stat with us. Digitally transformed organizations spend 25 times, not 25%, 25 times the cost on software-defined storage than their counterparts. That stat blew me away. What did you think about that when you heard it?
Yeah, I think that's an amazing stat. Across the board, as we look at the digital transformation, it's certainly changing a lot for the business, right? The digitally transformed business has become their global software is ultimately driving their businesses, but data is at the heart of it on the back end. And ultimately, through software defined, what they're going for is, can I get the agility? My business is demanding the agility, and through agility really help to unlock the innovation that they want to enable and to catapult their businesses forward, yet also deliver the next generation of customer experience. And that is how I interpret as to what's driving that.
And on the CTO Advisor, we've talked about the need for customers to be able to access their data that might be sitting in an Oracle database, on-prem, in the cloud, across clouds, etc. HPE has cloud volumes, which helps with that story.
Yeah.
But then when you think about kind of I think the typical HPE customer, especially the prototypical one, the one that's kind of all in at HPE, they'll have a composable infrastructure powered by your HPE's composable Synergy platform, which allows them to do all kinds of things with storage. But as I look at the composable story, being able to take bare metal, construct it as I want for my given application and use case, and then look to the cloud, I kind of raise an eyebrow and say, you know what, that model doesn't fit with the cloud. Am I right in that? Or, what's the kind of composable story when it comes to storage and cloud?
Sure. When we look at cloud, and what we hear from customers is cloud is unlocking new levels of agility for them. And really, whether it's in the public cloud or on premises, what customers want is a complete as-a-service experience. It needs to be automated, it needs to be on demand, and it needs to enable a self-service experience, whether for their developers or databases or other functions in IT. So that's one important aspect of it. The second other important aspect, what they're after, is I want to be able to really benefit from innovation, and different clouds are innovating in different technologies, and on premises there's different innovations that are becoming available as well. So when we sum all of that up, and when you look at that, what customers are asking for is help partner with me to help enable a on-premises as a service experience. And when you break that down at the infrastructure level, that starts to become a lot about, I want these flexible, dynamic pools of infrastructure that can be reconstructed on the fly completely through automation. And that's where our composable infrastructure plays a pivotal role in enabling that. And going beyond that, then customers want the flexibility of a full as-a-service experience. Not only in terms of how they consume the infrastructure, but then how it's metered as well. And we're enabling that through our HPE GreenLake as well. And the third aspect that I see that there is basically, how do customers start in one place and then seamlessly take advantage of other locations for them? You mentioned early on in this question is customers have their data that sits in different places and they want to be able to take advantage of it. So how can you literally flexibly enjoy having your data, being able to leverage compute services, but then also the additional value-added services on top of it, and be able to do so while living within the parameters of the data gravity that exists, as well as the differences in characteristics in reliability and data services that are available. So what we're enabling for customers is to have a data plane that can be consistent on premises as well as in the public cloud, and enable data mobility, which becomes the foundation ultimately for unlocking a variety of hybrid cloud use cases for customers.
So I hear the data mobility story. Like I've had your competitor in the room, and they've talked data mobility, data mobility, data mobility.
Sure.
How, make it real for me. Like, if I'm the VP of IT infrastructure and I have a team, and they're trained on HPE's platforms, whether it's 3PAR, SimpliVity, etc., how does all of this even tie together? Because when I look at the portfolio is huge and intimidating. One of the knocks I've had on HPE on the previous HP was that HP was too big to innovate across their own portfolio. How does the more nimble HPE innovate across the storage portfolio as it exists today?
So fantastic question across the board. And a core tenet of our HPE Intelligent Data Platform is plumbing all facets of that data lifecycle with native data mobility, all the way extending into the public cloud. So to make it real, and on that notion of the more nimble, let's start with HPE Nimble Storage. For customers who are leveraging HPE Nimble Storage on premises, that pairs with HPE Cloud Volumes, which is a cloud block storage service. And customers can seamlessly then take advantage of that data mobility between on-premises and the cloud. They get consistency of data services on either side. They get the same mission-critical reliability available to their applications, where their applications trust that reliability at the storage layer. That then begins to unlock a variety of use cases. Building on that solution, for example, in partnership with Google Cloud's Anthos, what we're enabling is this notion of a true hybrid cloud where you have a data plane with the data mobility layer, and then you have the Anthos layer that's enabling the application workload mobility. So now I can do hybrid disaster recovery, I can do hybrid CI/CD, where my developers are developing in the public cloud, but then their applications can be deployed on premises. It also helps you unlock multi-cloud flexibility because HPE Cloud Volumes basically then holds the data, and you can seamlessly attach it instantly over a low latency connection, whether it's to AWS Cloud or Azure Cloud, and soon GCP Cloud. So that's one element of how data mobility exists today. Another core element of data mobility is enterprises want to and have that flexibility to extend protection to the cloud.
Right.
They want to be able to have copies available locally for rapid recovery on premises, but then extend it to the cloud for cost-effective long-term protection. We enable that today, for example, for whether it's HPE 3PAR or HPE Primera or HPE Nimble Storage, in conjunction with HPE StoreOnes and CloudBank storage. CloudBank basically gives that extension to AWS S3/Glacier and or Azure for storing the data in the public cloud for that long-term retention. That basically continues to and will continue to get extended. The software stack that is enabling that extension to the public cloud, there is a native data format that is built into it, as well as data mover technology. And that technology and that IP, we're taking that and embedding that within each of the platforms. So when you look across our portfolio, we have the full breadth of serving customer needs, whether it's a mission critical block and or general purpose, where HCI or the other platforms come into play, or secondary, or big data and AI. All of these are also getting plumbed in with this IP, so that you now have common data format and data mobility that's being built in, and that extends naturally all the way into cloud data services.
So we've had former Senior Vice President of Storage and Availability at VMware, Yang Bing Lee, on the program last year. I think she will have loved the new version of her, who now works at Google Cloud, would love the story around GCP and Anthos, and being able to develop in GCP and Anthos and move that Anthos workload onto on-prem. She'd be excited about that.
Yep.
But this is VMworld. She tweeted this morning that she's watching the keynote from Pat yesterday, and she's excited for her former coworkers. So let's end on some excitement for her former coworkers when it comes to the HPE VMware relationship. What's different or new or exciting about the VMware HPE announcement, especially when it comes to storage?
Sure. So across the board, HPE and VMware are, first off, longtime partners. We have a strategic partnership in place. A vast majority of our customers are leveraging the technologies from the two companies jointly together for their virtualized workloads as well as private clouds. I think it's fascinating in terms of the new announcement that we just made of VMware Cloud Foundation on HPE Synergy, and we're bringing a full as-a-service experience tied to it and extending it to a hybrid cloud solution as well. From the storage integrations that we have in place, we are the #1 VMware vVols deployment for the virtualized environments, and that's enabling basically a per VM centric overall management and policy-based management through that, so that's fantastic. We across the board have deep integration into the full VMware vRealize suite, so that customers truly can manage everything, including the underlying storage infrastructure, through the native stacks with VMware. And one of the earlier announcements that we made at HPE Discover, which is one of the solutions that we're also showcasing here at VMworld, is the HPE Nimble Storage DHCI, which brings along the simplicity of HCI as well as the flexibility of Converge. It's built with the HPE ProLiant and HPE Nimble Storage solutions with specific DHCI automation software. And it delivers this native experience for VMware customers so that basically they can manage everything up at the virtual machine level.
Yes.
And it's plumbed with a level of intelligence to deliver prescriptive insights as well as predict and prevent issues before they ever occur.
We had the team talk on yesterday talking about DHCI and its relevance. You interviewed them, and that was, I found it as an interesting topic, the whole understanding what DHCI is in the customer. Again, this has all been about the HPE storage portfolio, which is massive. Put Sandeep to the test. I'd love for you to join the conversation, hashtag CTO Dose on Twitter or hashtag CTO Dose on LinkedIn to find these videos and these conversations and give me some feedback. Do you see HPE as the leader in software-defined storage? And is the messaging clear? Sandeep is the man responsible for the messaging. So if you don't, I'll tag him in the LinkedIn conversation. He can join in conversation as well, and you can give him direct feedback as to whether the message is hitting home or if HPE has more work to do. I would love for you to join that conversation or others. You can continue the coverage from VMworld 2019 by following us on YouTube, youtube.com/the CTO Advisor. Talk to you next, CTO Dose.
and